So last night, baby daddy calls me. He's like, hey, do you think the kids want to go to the pool? I said, what do you mean? It's about to be 8 o'clock p.m. And he's like, yeah, but it's my mom's pool, so it doesn't really matter. I said, but it's been raining. So, I'm trying to co-parent with this man. I want the kids to be happy. I don't want to be fighting. So I said, fine, but the kids haven't ate dinner. I was making dinner. He said, we'll be back in 2 hours. So 12:30 comes around. I text him, no answer. 1, 2. At 3 in the morning, after so many calls, I decide to call back. So his mom answers his phone. So that was the first red flag. So she started being rude to me. So I just hung up and pulled up real quick. When I pulled up, he was drunk, thrown in the bed, only in his underwear. My kids were around the house, and the little one was crying. So I took my kids and his ass home with me so he wouldn't go ghost the next morning. I woke up and he wasn't here. I'm gonna go get him.
So I had a clothing malfunction at the water park, as I'm sure we all have, but I didn't realize it had happened. I got shot out of the water slide and I was terrified, but I wanted my friends to think that I was cool. And so I threw both my arms in the air like this, and I was like, woo! I'm not afraid of water slides. I didn't just pee on that thing. And then I go skipping out of the water, and there's a lifeguard standing at the edge of the pool, and he looks me dead in the eyes, and he goes like this. And I'm distracted by that car. And I look down, and my girls were just like freestyling it. And I don't know what you say to somebody when you enthusiastically accidentally flash them at their job. And I make jokes when I get nervous. And so I just like look at the girls and I look back at him and I was like, $5, man. He didn't crack a smile. He was like a palace guard, just dead ahead.
So I have a customer. She uses our little steam sauna pod about once a week, and she's never had to start it herself. She's never had to refill anything, and yet she takes it upon herself to take our oils and dump half the bottle in the bed, even though it's there for you to see what's going in there. It's not there for you to use. And so we took them out of the room and we put them in a storage closet so she wouldn't feel the temptation, and yet she has snuck into the storage closet to take it before. So I moved them again, and then I super glued the cap shut last night so she can't open it. I'm gonna put it back in our room, and what is she gonna do? Complain to me that she can't use something she's not supposed to be touching?
Here's a story about how my handwriting helped me pass biology. So my freshman year of high school, I was taking biology, and my teacher was kinda odd. But I was one of her favorites, so I couldn't complain. And I was only one of her favorites because she loved my handwriting. I remember her telling me, Abby, I don't want to mark this wrong because your handwriting is beautiful on the paper. But wait, it gets better. One time she asked me to come in during lunch to work on her daughter's wedding invitation. She wanted my 14-year-old ass to write her daughter's wedding invitation. But I said, okay, let me collect my coins. And so I'm in her class just like writing, chatting, when I tell her, Miss, I'm so scared for the biology test that we have this week because I just haven't been able to study. I just want your daughter's wedding invitations to come out so nice. And she goes, Abby, do not worry about it. Just come up to my desk when we hand out the tests tomorrow. She can be the answer key. So yeah, that's honestly how I got good grades in high school because all my teachers liked my handwriting.
So this guy comes into Lowe's today. All he wanted were the broken bags of concrete. So we get out there, load him in his truck, and his bed is pretty much touching his tires. Me and this other guy were like, maybe you should like make 2 loads out of this. I don't know if it's really safe to drive. And he was like, nah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, well, I really wish he gave a shit. Yo, this dude starts driving off and his tires are literally rubbing his fenders. So we wave him down and we're like, yo, your tires are literally rubbing your fenders. And he goes, I don't give a shit. He goes, boys, this is a Chevrolet. I was like, no offense, sir, but I don't think it matters. He goes, don't worry, I'll make it home. Continues to drive off. We just went back inside. I shit you not. 5 minutes later, he comes back in and he goes, yeah, so I got a flat tire. I didn't even know what to say. I just started fucking laughing.
I think that I'm officially scarred for life. So I went into my patient's room after a report on this like 84-year-old man to give him my spiel. Hi, I'm Robin. I'm going to be taking care of you today. And he says, wow, I really like your hair. I like your braids. And I say, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thank you. And, you know, I kind of keep talking, and then he goes back to the braids and he says, well, you know, your braids, I really like them. It's like, oh, thank you. He says, you know what we used to call braids back in my day, though? Those little pigtail braids? And I go, what? He said, we called them handlebars. So, I think I'm gonna change my hair. Not ever wear pigtail braids again.
Being a 911 dispatcher, best job ever. However, I wish it was not illegal to hang up that phone sometimes. I had this lady call in and she was like, hey, I want to report a reckless driver and it's one of your officers. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I proceed to ask her and I'm like, what's the officer doing? And she says, like, he's speeding, he's going around cars, he's tailgating, and he even ran a stop sign. And then I'm like, no, something doesn't sound right. So then I like check my calls, I check my units, and then I kindly and calmly asked this lady, I said, ma'am, does he happen to have lights and sirens on? And she said, yeah, why does that matter? I said, okay, ma'am, I'll let the officer know that you don't like the way he's driving to emergency situations. You have a good day, okay?
Anything you want when you're financially stable. Hi, my name is Christina and I'm an emergency room technician. Last night we had a patient come in with nausea, vomiting, and shortness of breath. It turns out that he let his wife shove a Swiffer Wetjet handle up his ass and waited a whole entire month before he came to the emergency room to get seen. So he had a bowel obstruction, which was causing him to vomit his own shit. So we ended up having to shove a tube down the back of his throat, which was inserted through his nose, which caused a gag reflex, which caused him to vomit shit everywhere, all over himself, and splashed onto me. So yeah, and since he waited a whole entire month, it smelled like the rotting inside of a dead person's asshole. And that's on knowing your boundaries and possibly establishing a safe word.
So you applied for the delivery driving position?
Yes, I did.
And you're over 21?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. And then do you have any driving experience at all?
Yeah, I actually worked for UPS for about 3 years.
Awesome, then write that down. And so why did you leave them?
Well, I got caught delivering a little bit more than a package.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there was a customer who came on the truck and accidentally lost her clothes, and then somehow I accidentally lost mine as well, and we may or may not have had intercourse.
So we kind of have a no tolerance policy for stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go. Thank you for this, and yeah, have a wonderful day.
So I have never felt worse than I do right now. It's about to get awkward. I placed an order for DoorDash to come out because I was hungry. I'm always hungry. That's not a surprise. I got the notification that the DoorDash was here. So my stomach told me, take your big ass outside. We need to eat. So I looked at my stomach and I said, say less. But then when I went outside, the DoorDasher was crying. As a joke, I said, who died? She replied, my grandma, and started crying harder. Now this caused a huge moral dilemma inside of me because I care a lot and I don't want to see people hurt. I don't want to see people go through that, but I'm also still hungry. That has not changed. This kind of left me in a weird middle ground because I was trying to console her, but it didn't come out right because I was still hungry. So I was like, oh, no, don't cry, in my McDonald's food bag. But just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it got worse. She handed me my food and she kept apologizing, and I told her don't be sorry while I was kind of like wringing the tears out of the chicken nuggets. You know the awkward situation where they still talking but you trying to walk away? She started talking about the funeral. I didn't want to be rude. I got stuck between it's gonna be okay and have a good one, so I said it's gonna be good. Now I'm going to hell.
I might be exposing myself, but I feel like I'm not the only one who's done this, so here we go. Story time, I'm Emily with an E, bitch. So back when I was little, my mom would make me and my sister take showers together because reduce, reuse, recycle, bitch. We're saving the planet, okay? And I would notice that sometimes my sister would pee in the shower. So in my head, I was like, oh, so it's okay to use the bathroom in the tub. Okay, cool. So one day we were taking a shower together and I had to poop. So I was like, oh, I could just poop in here because when people tell you to go to the bathroom, I'm already in the bathroom, so I might as well just do my business up in here. So I waited for my sister to turn around because I'm shy, and I popped the squat right in front of the drain and I pooped. My sister turned around and she's like, oh my God, Emily, what the fuck is that? And I was like, bitch, it's poo. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you shit in the tub? I'm like, the fuck you mean? I'm in the bathroom. People tell you to go to the bathroom, so why the fuck wouldn't I go to the bathroom in the bathroom, bitch? Plus, I've seen you pee in the shower, so how's that any different, bitch? I'm confused now. Ain't nobody told me the terms and condition of using the bathroom in the fucking bathroom. My mom came in and then she beat my ass and then explained how you should only shit on the toilet, I guess. I don't even know. Type of bullshit.
Story time. Spent 8 years in the U.S. Army as an IT tech specialist. I was a help desk manager at a very small fob when I had a high-ranking officer come into my office. He said, "Specialist, my computer is not working." I said, "General, don't yell at me." I didn't say that. I said, "What seems to be the problem, Captain Royalty?" He said, "My internet is not working." I said, "Huh, is it a new computer?" He said, "No, it is not." And then it got silent, and I was like, "Okay, so when did the internet stop working?" He said, "Ever since I got back from my mission." I said, "Okay, have you taken any steps to try and fix it?" He said, "Of course I did, Specialist. I Googled it and I found out there's possibly 3 issues with my router, so do you want to come check it out?" Pause. You Googled it? Yeah, I figured that would be the best way to find out the issue. Where did you Google it? Well, all I have is my computer, but if I don't have the internet, I can't really do much. I'm a specialist. He's a general. I can't just say, "Hey, you're an idiot." So instead, I just said it slower. I said, "General, you used your computer and Googled why your internet wasn't working?" He did not say a word. He literally walked out of my office and I never saw him again.
I went on the weirdest Tinder date ever this week. It's story time. This girl invites me to go for a drink in a bar in Newtown. I'm like, "Alright, I've been talking to you on Tinder for a little while, let's do it." 1, I arrive at said bar and my date is already drunk. 2, my date automatically starts talking about her ex-girlfriend and ends up crying about her. 3, the ex-girlfriend walks into the bar, comes over and introduces herself to us. I'm hella nervous. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna cause some shit right now. The opposite. This chick's really nice. She's chatting to us, she's asking me where I'm from, and then after a little bit, she's like, "You guys have a good night, I'll see you later." My date then says to me, "I'm just gonna be back in a minute." Half an hour passes, I'm sitting by myself, and I'm like, alright, I'm probably gonna leave now, this sucks. I'm literally about to walk out the door and leave this horrible experience when my date's ex comes up to me. She's like, "I just put so-and-so in a cab home because she was trying to fight me outside. But I know that you've come really far, so did you want to have a drink with me instead?" I ended up screwing my date's ex-girlfriend. Winning!
Hi, miss. I'm so sorry to bother you. This table's actually reserved, so I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Yeah, reserved by me. I was here first. No, I actually met you at the door, and I told you we didn't have any seats ready, and I would call you when we did. Okay, well, I was here first, so why are these people taking precedent over me? Well, A, they actually signed our waiting list 3 hours ago, and B, important piece of information, it is their honeymoon, so. Well, I'm not leaving. I'm a regular here, and all the employees know me. Miss, if you don't leave, I'm gonna... What are you gonna do? I'm gonna call... Who? Who are you gonna call? Security? Yeah, and you're gonna do that. Yes. This is ridiculous. Yes.